Fairfax County voters will be asked to vote yes or no on 3 individual bond questions on Election Day, November 8th. The bonds would support transportation, parks, and human services. Bonds are a form of long-term borrowing used by many local governments to finance public facilities and infrastructure and spread the cost over the life of the facilities. Virginia state law requires that general obligation bonds be approved by the voters in a referendum. You have the opportunity to vote either yes or no on each question. If the majority votes yes, the Board of Supervisors will be authorized to sell bonds in the future to generate the funds for capital improvements. When approved, bonds are sold only as the money is needed for a project. For the largest projects, this occurs over several years. If the majority votes no, the county cannot issue general obligation bonds to finance these projects. This does not mean that the improvements have been disapproved. The county could seek other sources of funds, such as current tax revenues, or may choose to defer the projects. In total, the 3 bond questions for 2016 ask voters to allow the county to issue bonds in a principal amount of up to $312 million to fund the cost of replacing, renovating, or improving transportation, parks, and human service facilities. Proceeds from the sale of bonds are authorized for a specific purpose and may not, by law, be used to finance projects for another purpose. For example, transportation bonds may not be used to finance libraries or public safety facilities. Of the proposed $312 million, $85 million is planned to support human services and community development, with $37 million to replace the Sully Senior Center and build a new Lorton Community Center, and $48 million to renovate, expand, or replace 4 emergency shelters for people who are homeless. The existing Sully Senior Center is located in the VDOT right-of-way that is currently being designed for a new interchange. The bond funds will allow for the Sully Community Center to have additional senior adult programming space along with youth and adult services. The Lorton Senior Center is currently housed in a leased space that is scheduled to expire in 2018. These 2 new community centers would continue to provide programming for older adults while also having the capacity to meet other community needs, such as youth and wellness programs. Both the Sully and Lorton facilities align with these strategic efforts to develop and promote multi-service sites. The Patrick Henry, Embry Rucker, Eleanor Kennedy, and Bailey's shelters are all aging facilities that were built or last renovated approximately 30 years ago. County shelters are filled to capacity every night of the week, and these shelters can no longer meet the crisis needs of homeless individuals and families. The county would use the bonds to finance the renovation, expansion, or replacement of these shelters. Of the proposed $312 million, the transportation bond question is for $120 million. This money is planned to pay for Fairfax County's share of Metro's capital improvement program. The CIP includes safety and system maintenance projects, replacing old rail cars, fixing the track signal system, as well as additional buses and rail station improvements. The final bond question contains $107 million for county and regional parks and park facilities. The Fairfax County Park Authority recently completed a needs assessment to develop the next 5 to 10-year park capital plan, and if approved, the authority currently plans to use the bond funds for the improvements or facilities identified in this assessment.
The needs assessment actually started in about a little before 2015, and it took about 18 months to get through the needs assessment. We just completed it this past spring, and there's a lot of great data that's come out in that needs assessment. And we actually use the needs assessment to start putting together what the community is asking us to do related to our capital infrastructure repairs and improvements. And that's where we got a lot of the great information.
An amount of $94.7 million is proposed to address priority needs identified in this needs assessment. Project funding will include the following areas: land acquisition and open space preservation, new park development, park renovation and upgrades, and natural and cultural resource stewardship. The parks question also includes $12.3 million to sustain the county's capital contribution to the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority for an additional 4 years. The NVRPA owns over 8,500 acres in Fairfax County. The primary focus of NVRPA's capital program is to continue the restoration, renovation, and modernization of existing park facilities. Fairfax County has the highest credit rating possible for any government, AAA, from the major bond rating services. Only 11 states, 46 counties, and 33 cities have AAA bond rating from all 3 rating agencies. For this reason, Fairfax County's bonds sell at better interest rates than bonds of lower-rated jurisdictions, saving taxpayers hundreds of millions in interest cost. For more information about the 2016 bond referendum, please visit fairfaxcounty.gov/bond.